Scrappy friends, this is Mags from MagsGraphics, and today we are getting ready for the big Pixie Bowl celebration that will happen in April. I have released the Game Day Football Flat Makers, which will help you take your little extracted head on any flat adventure you would like to for Pixie Bowl. And I thought I'd show you what all comes with the Flat Maker set. The introduction of enhanced art this year has really been a game changer on many levels, but definitely when it comes to flats, because now I can put whole outfits together that are grouped, and when you ungroup them, you can customize them. So while this looks like an entire team of red, largely because I went to Miami University in Ohio, and my husband and sons went to University of Cincinnati in Cincinnati, and all of us had the color red as our main color. That's why I usually start with it for sports kits. But you may have something else in mind, and all of these can be customized. So if you look, the pack comes with some football players, some equipment, some jersey numbers in black and white, a marching band uniform, some cheerleaders, a fan, and a referee. So let me show you how these can work. The first thing I'm going to do is add on our football players to the page. I believe it's thinking. All right, we have that one, and our second one, and our third one. All right, so when you add them to the page, the first thing you can do is right-click and ungroup. And you'll notice that over here, it's separated into many pieces. The first bit is that for every person, no matter what the skin looks like on the top, there are 4 different colors of skin tones underneath. So we have this peachy version. We have a mid brown tone. We have a darker brown tone. And then we have a very pale tone. So in order from lightest to darkest, we've got this one, this color, this one, and then your final. And you can add or turn on and turn off whichever layouts you want to use for yourself. I'm going to choose this one. And if you notice in between these two, we'll start with these football players. This one has arms down with their t-shirt is one layer, jersey, belt, the stripes, the pants, the white socks, the little stripes on the high knee socks, or the athletic socks. And we've got our shoes, and even the laces are separate. On your other guy, we have a different style of jersey, armbands, the shirt, the belt are separate, pants, very short socks, and again, the shoes and the ties. And on our next person who's raising their hands upward, we can do grouping and ungroup. And you've got your jersey. These stripes are separate. The elbow pads, belt, pants, short socks, shoes, and laces. So I have some heads over here that I'm going to pull up, some very fierce looking heads for football players. So we'll take one, and here's another one, and I'm going to move them up to the top. Let's see. Oops, I selected the wrong one. I want you and you, and order to the front. Okay, so these are some I had already extracted and I have kept, and then I can size them down a little bit, little large bobbleheady looking heads. So we've got one for here, copy, paste, we can add one over here. But let's say I wanted to change some of the colors. So I would go click on what I want to change, go up to color, change the hue. I could maybe I want this to be a more blue. Go down to more of a blue. Let's say I choose a dark blue, and I could click OK. If I want to change the pants to something different, I can also do that. This is an awfully light color, so changing the hue and saturation is going to start with something pretty light. I'd have to start going down and making it a lot darker. Could fill in the saturation. The other thing that I could do is if I know of a color that I want to use, I can go to Format, Color, and I can choose the color that I want to fill it. The only thing is when you fill it with a color from the format ribbon, it just totally fills it in like dropping in a bucket of paint on it. And I will need to go back and add some type of filter for surface texture if I would like it to have a texture, something that looks more rough and tumble than just a plain sheet of paint on there. So we'll click OK. So now I have a different type of player, and I could go ahead to this and go back up to color, hue, and saturation and make it match my jersey. And same way with the shoes. I could sample a color from my screen, although my color picker is often a little bit off. It's not really seeing what I'm seeing when I move it around. In this case, it's found something green. I'm not sure where it is. But other people's, their color picker works a little better than mine. Usually just takes me a while to figure what I would like. Cancel with that. It's thinking, or I could manually change it to whatever color I would like it to be. If I want the bright purple shoes, I can. Anything that starts off as white, like the socks, if you're not going to leave them white, you will need to turn them sepia first to give them some color. And now they're the beige, and now I can go in and start changing the hue and saturation. I could add more saturation for more color. I could make it brighter or darker. So you have a lot of options with changing the color. Same way with all of these others. If I want to go and change this, it would be the same as what I've done before, or I could fill it with a color and choose another texture. I also have a helmet that I can add, and I know it's a little bobbleheady, and that's okay. So I could decide how I want it to fit. Could narrow it up a little bit. I think that looks good. Once I have it exactly where I want it, I'm going to ungroup it, because again, now I can go through and I can change the color of the helmet and the stripes. And if I wanted to change the metal part up front, I could do that as well. There is a regular art football in here since everyone needs a football. And you can certainly add that to the hand, having it in the air. Maybe this person's holding it. So you have some choices. The numbers are sized to fit on all of these jerseys. So if I wanted to add either one number, something like that, or if I wanted it in white, my son's number was always number 5. Maybe I want 2 numbers. You can also do that as well. They will fit 2 numbers just fine on your jerseys, either one. And again, let's see, we'll add one over here. Make a number 9. You can put it on top of that stripe. If I don't want the stripes anymore, I could always hide it and just have a normal jersey. So you've got your football players in here, but we also have some other options that we can play with. Let's take all of these and just, oh no, I did not want to make them a different. I must have clicked on one of the sizing handles. That's not what we want. All right, scooting down, we've got a couple of cheerleaders that we can add to the page. One with the arms down, one with the arms up. And let's grab our super fan over here. And just like everything else, you can ungroup these. Ungroup. And you have a lot of choices to make. You can change again the skin color to any of the 4 shades that are underneath. You can just turn on and off until you receive one that you want. You can keep the stripes on, or you can remove them, or you could change their color. Each section of the pom-poms are separate. So if I want to turn that blue, I can. I think I might leave the white ones as they are, but I could go to the back and I could change the hue and saturation into something else. Let's see. And I might need to fill this one actually because it's such a dark color. I think I'm going to go up and do format, color, pick a color. And then I can always go up here to filter, pick a surface texture, add it in. So now I've got totally different looking pom-poms. Same way with your socks, your shoes, the laces, they're all customizable. Also with the skirt and the under part of the skirt, that's the little white part. Let's see where that is. You have options for both parts so that you can change the color of both bits. Up here, we've got a flag. If you notice this flag, and it's the same for the standalone flag that's over here, it's got a built-in darkened section to make it look as if it's wrapping around over the pole. You do ungrouping. This would be a better one to use the hue and saturation for so that it will maintain that darkened spot in there when you change its color. If I were to just fill it with a color under the format ribbon, it would just, like I said, drop paint on it. And so all of that part is, that little shaded part is gone. It's not the end of the world. You can certainly work with it like that. But if you want that little bit, then you'll want to make sure that you use hue and saturation. I'm going to hit grouping here. Same way with the one that is on this superfan. It also, you can customize the stick and the flag to create your people. I'm going to go here and remove those. In addition, we have a band uniform and a big hat. This hat, the black section, is not actually the back of the hat. This is the brim of the hat. So I would size it down to fit the head that I'm using. It goes on in front, and then add it to, I need to move this up here. Here we go. Wow, I look like a very angry marching band person. And we have our referee that also comes with a baseball hat that you can customize each bit of this hat as well, including the top, the bill, and the piping along the side. With your referee, you can customize each part, including the stripes, shoes, pants, the stripes on the sleeves, or just the sleeves. You get to decide how you want this person to look, and again with 4 skin tones. The other nice thing about all of these is that it matches all of my game day sets. So if you need to use the referee for soccer or lacrosse or track and field or basketball, you can do that because they all will match. And since you can customize them with any color that you want, you'll have no trouble matching it up with any of the other of your favorite kits. Also, aside from the other game day kits, let's take a look at game day football. The basic game day football pack has the rest of your equipment, banners and stars. It's got the goal post. It has the orange poker thing that field marker. You can tell I'm really knowledgeable on sports. We've got some frames. Got some basic helmets. These will not just fit on the head because they have the back part to them, but they're great for accents on your page. There's some side facing helmets. There's the giant fingers. If you'd like to add this to your super fan, you could do something like this, whether you leave it that big or you size it down. Now our superfan is ready. There's also a tailgate pack in this. Here's a trophy for winner. But there's also a tailgate pack, which is great also for your superfan. Maybe your superfan, instead of holding the football, is holding a giant foot-long hot dog. So definitely a fun one to use. With your marching band person, I have the marching band life, which also coordinates with all the marching band people. Now your flat makers have been sized up so that by the time you're done building, you're going to have around a 7-inch person. In the marching band life bundle, there are all kinds of band people, an assortment of colors. They're going to come in at 5 inches, which is no trouble. You can size them up if you want to match, or you can also size your person down. And like with everything else, these are all customizable. So I can click ungroup. I can now change under color, hue, and we can completely change the color of every bit here on the marching band person, the shirt, the buttons, the trim, the button up here, the gold trim, the brim, the shoes. You have lots of options so that you can mix and match it with any of the band people that you might want to add to your marching band person. So the flat makers have a lot of possibilities. Of course, I will have to ask that you use your powers for good. I'm going to show you a cheeky little layout from my friend Kim, who knows that our house does not actually root for Ohio State. It's still showing up there. See if these are going to stay or go. So my cheeky friend Kim made this layout of all of us doing OHIO, and she found the logo just online to make for her own layout. Well, I had an answer to that, and I decided to make one that looks like this. So think of the fun that you can do with your friends and their pictures. And I can't wait to see what you make with it too. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.